from that point, I mean, you got freshman All-SEC honors and you hit the ground running. And again, you were an anchor on South Carolina's offensive line. Basically, from that point forward, I mean, you started 10 of 11 games in 2004. But I want to ask you specifically about the end of that 04 season and Coach Holtz obviously retiring and Steve Spurrier being hired. I guess just talk about that sequence of events, man. I mean, obviously you're sad that your head coach is hanging it up, and the coach that recruited you and has coached you for basically 3 years at this point. But then, Steve Spurrier is coming to town. I mean, literally a Hall of Famer. I know the buzz around Columbia was incredible leading up to his first game against UCF. Just what was going through your mind? Because again, you're losing a Hall of Famer, but you're getting another Hall of Famer, and obviously the whole mindset's changing. And as an offensive lineman, you're gonna continue to do your job. But I know you're probably excited. Like, we're going to score some points. I mean, it's it's everybody's excited for this change. What was going through your head when that all went down?
Well, I had a lot of mixed emotions because, like I said, Coach Spurrier was that father figure to us away from home. And then to the way that we went out the 04 season with the Brawl,
right?
You hate to see him go out like that. I mean, you hate to see that black mark put on his name. I remember when we had the team meeting after that, the director came in and he said, you know what, Holtz is retiring, that's it. He said, but we're going to get you guys the best coach that money can buy. And, when Spurrier came in, everybody was hyped. We knew his track record. We knew what he did at Florida. We knew we were going to score some points. And the energy in the building was just elevated. Everybody was excited to play with Coach Spurrier.
For sure. You brought it up. We got to talk about the Brawl. I wasn't even, I forgot totally. I totally forgot that somehow. I wanted to save some of the Carolina Clemson talk when we got to your senior year, obviously, because that's when, you guys beat them up there. But man, talk about the Brawl. I mean, I've had some of your former teammates on, obviously having Savell on, him being like right in the middle of it. His perspective's interesting, but I mean,
right.
Again, something, we all hope again, we don't ever see again, but it's interesting. Right. It's just such a point in the rivalry that, when people ask you about Carolina Clemson and the intensity and the hatred on both sides, it's like you can point at that game as an example of just how bitter it is. I mean, what do you remember specifically from the Brawl in Death Valley?
And what's crazy that, when we bring that up, a lot of people don't remember offensive line. They never show our face, and they only, they only hear about us when we draw a penalty or something like that. But when I meet people and I tell them who I am, and I tell them, I played, they say, you a big guy, you played ball. I say, yeah, I played for Carolina a few years. I tell them my name. Oh, you're the guy responsible for the Clemson fight. So I always get labeled as the guy that started the Clemson fight. But basically, man, it was a fourth down play. It was fourth down play, and had a hit on Savell, and Savell was ready to get up, and the guy pushed him down. And I initiated contact with the guy, and it went crazy from there. Like I said, you hate to see Coach Holtz go out like that. You hate to see that mark put on both universities. We were going to a bowl. Both teams had to forfeit their bowls. It was just a bad day in Carolina football. And like you say, we hope to never see that again.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think we will. I want to ask you, though. It's funny because obviously you're defending your quarterback, but I feel like that was something when you watched that game, you could almost feel that kind of brewing the frustration was building, and, meeting up with Clemson at the bottom of the hill, and it just kind of, it all culminated. I mean, obviously it was still shocking, but just crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah, the night before that when we was in the hotel room, because we stayed over in Greenville, that was the night that the Pistons had the big brawl.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was talking
Malice
about
of the Palace, yeah.
Right. Yeah, everybody was talking about it. And even from the jump of that, from the start of the game, like when we met those guys at the bottom of the hill, it was a lot of chippiness going on. And it seemed like the refs, they weren't controlling the game. And all of a sudden it just got out of hand, man.
Yeah.